So I just want to quickly show you something, guys. Pay attention. So let's go against this guy. Daily reset just happened, but let's go against this guy who's currently rank 6 in the Timeline Battle Vibranium League. He uses this team, and if we go to my team, sure, I'll use double supports, but if you take a look at my Knull, he has no artifact, and he has no custom gear. So no CTPs, no obelisks, nothing. Now let's see how will he perform against this guy who has Tier 4 Sentry, Tier 4 Knull, and Tier 4 Wolverine when I play my Knull on manual. And the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my second skill whenever it's available, and I'm going to use my fifth skill whenever it's available, and only use the fourth skill if I need to hide in the iframe like this. So now I'm just gonna rotate between the second skill and the fifth skill, and let's see if I can take down some of his characters. And if you take a look here, his Knull is already dead, so now we're gonna do 4, try to hide in the iframe. Sentry unfortunately popped my immortality, which was unfortunate because my skills were on cooldown. Now we're gonna mash 2 like there's no tomorrow. We're gonna do 5 and then 2 again, and Sentry's dead. Now we're gonna do Tier 3 and Tier 4 skill, use the 2 again, then use the 5th skill, and Wolverine is burning there. Now we're gonna use the 2nd skill, and as you can see, whole team died. 2, no obelisk, no CTP, no artifact, Tier 4 Knull, just by mashing 2nd and 5th skill. This is how powerful Knull is when you play him on manual. So if that's not good enough for you, I don't know what is. Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this one we'll take a look at Knull's newest upgrade, the Tier 4 Knull, and his newest uniform, the Ancient History uniform, and see if he is good enough for you to build for PvE and or PvP. For his build, I currently have 12 Zodin's Blessings on his gears. His skills are of course at maximum level. I have rank 5 Universal Type Enhancements, Stage 12 Power of Angry Hulk. I do not have his artifact, and for these tests I will do testing with Brilliant CTP of Greed, and his uniform is at Mythic. However, if you take a look at his uniform options, you can see that I only have one uniform and one of his options unlocked, which is the last one from the Scarlet Witch's newest uniform. So before we hop into some PvE and PvP testing, I want to tell you why am I using a Brilliant CTP of Greed. And I did an extensive testing with different CTPs, so Brilliant Conquest, Mighty Region, Brilliant Greed, Mighty Greed, and even Mighty Conquest. So you guys can go back to my live streams and watch few hours of Knull playing, testing in PvP with all the kind different CTPs, and what I found is that Brilliant CTP of Greed, at least for my account, is the best CTP for him when you play him in Timeline Battle, at least on autoplay. Now, if your account is stacked, you might find that the Brilliant CTP of Conquest might be his best choice, but for my account he performed way better with Brilliant CTP of Greed. So before we hop into some PvE and PvP content, I want to show you the skill rotation you should use when playing Knull. So for his rotation in PvP, it's quite simple if you play him on manual. There are only 3 skills that you need to use in succession, and 2 of them you'll be using the most, while the third one is used only while other 2 are on cooldown for whatever reason. So his second and his fifth skill have super guard break. So his second skill is this one, and it locks opponents in place, and his fifth skill is this one, and it also locks opponents in place, while it also has an iframe. His fourth skill is also an iframe, but this skill doesn't have super guard break immunity, so you should only use this fourth skill if you need to hide in the iframe to dodge enemy reflect or enemy damage. For the rest of the PvP timeline manual play, you'll be mashing second skill, let it play out, and once Knull slams the ground, you should use the fifth skill, and once he does the explosion with hand, you should go back to your second skill and do that in rotation. Only use the fourth skill whenever you have both second and fifth skill on cooldown. For the PvE rotation, because he is quite proc friendly, you want to do 1 cancel 2, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5 and proc everything on 5, or if you're using the CTP of Rage, you should do exactly the same rotation, because his third and fourth skill are instant cancelable. As you can see, I'll do 3, 4, 1 and we get both the dragon and the red energy beams falling from the sky from the third skill. The dragon is from the fourth skill, so you'll want to proc everything on 5. So his regular rotation looks like this: 1 cancel 2, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5, and you proc everything on 5. And this is the same if you're using CTP of Rage or a damage proc, something like an Obelisk or CTP of Destruction, CTP of Energy. You should always use his 4th skill or tier 4 skill whenever it's available, and his tier 3 skill is almost identical. It's still not instantly cancelable, so you should cancel it as soon as you see Knull use his sword to rip the dimensional rift, which unleashes many symbiotes before going into your regular rotation. If you use these rotations in PvE and PvP, you will perform really well with your Knull. So here we are at stage 79 of Knull World Boss Legend. I am using Brilliant CTP of Greed on my Knull, so there's no PvE CTP and double supports, and let's see if Knull with a PvP build can clear this stage. So, and right off the bat, from the damage he deals, you can see that the damage is quite insane, so there is really no reason to think that Knull won't be able to do this. So yeah, look at that. Look, just look how fast. 25 seconds. He cleared this in 25 seconds with CTP of Greed. Stage 79. First phase in 25 seconds. Do you see this, guys? Look how good Knull is, even with a PvP build. So even if you give him a PvP build like a CTP of Greed, so you can play both Timeline Battle and some stages of World Boss Legend, it still performs extremely well. And I'm just doing the regular rotation I showed you. Now imagine how much faster would he be if you actually use the proper build. His tier 4 skill hits so hard. Like, it hits so hard. And he's also kind of really tanky, so look at that. 1 minute and a half with a CTP of Greed. Stage 79 Knull. That's really impressive. Let's take him to some other world bosses. For the next test, here we are at stage 69 of Infinity Ultron, but the difference is I am only using a single support now, so Ronan is my only support, and let's see if Knull has what it takes with a PvP build to clear this stage as well. And as you can see, in a single rotation he fully builds his tier 4 skill, and his tier 4 skill does damage. It's similar to Thanos's tier 4 skill. It's super hard, and it's what allows him to breeze through these bosses. Like, sure, stage 69 of Ultron isn't the highest world boss stage and not the most difficult, but still it's stage 69, so it's not something that you should completely disregard, because this is how your Knull will perform if you build him for PvP, sorry. Now just imagine how good would he perform if he was actually built properly for PvE. Because if he is this good and does 16 bars of Ultron in of Alt 169 in like 30 seconds. Imagine how would he perform if you actually gave him like, I don't know, Brilliant Rage, Brilliant Destruction, Brilliant Energy. Yeah, look at that. Look how good Knull is. It's a single support Knull. We'll dodge this. Let's see if we can burst him down before he goes to the transition phase. I don't think we'll lack some damage, yeah. Well, that was unfortunate, but it could have been 3 minutes and 10 seconds for the clear, so now we'll have to dodge this. Hit him here, then move here, and use our 5th skill, 2nd skill, and Tier 4 skill, and he dies instantly. So this was also quite easy for Knull to do. So his PvE performance is impressive for a PvP build. Now let's see how will he perform in other pieces of content. So before we go and test him out in the autoplay Vibranium League, let's take him against some of the top of Vibranium teams, like for example this guy, and see how he performs with the current build. So this guy has Tier 4 Knull, Tier 4 Sentry, and Tier 4 Silver Surfer. I'm gonna hit autoplay and see how will my Knull perform against his whole team. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Boom, 2nd skill, and Silver Surfer is instantly dead. Now he uses 2nd skill again, gets reflected to death. So this is something that autoplay Knull does a lot. He uses 2nd and 5th skill, so he gets reflected back from Silver Surfer and, well, kills himself. But as you can see there, he managed to kill his Knull, and he already took away 1 life from Sentry, and well, he took away both lives from Sentry. So there you go. So this guy is number 4 rank in Vibranium, and Knull easily managed to cleave through his whole team, even though he lost his immortality against Silver Surfer because of the reflect. Let's do one more test now against this guy, who is number 2 in the Vibranium League. He has Sentry, Wolverine, and Colossus team, and we will see if having Colossus on the team is enough to stop Knull from instantly killing every single one of the characters. So let's see. 2nd skill, and Sentry survived because of the Conquest proc, but then my Knull uses the 4th skill and enemy Sentry instantly dies. So yep, there we go. So this this is quite insane. These are the top Vibranium teams, boys and girls. Look at this. Look how easy it is. I mean, sure, I lost my immortality, but still, like, on autoplay against top Vibranium teams is completely insane. So we've seen how Knull performs with on manual and auto against top Vibranium teams. Now let's take him for a spin on autoplay Vibranium timeline battle and see how many wins will he score during his daily runs. So first I'll just let my 2 supports die, and currently I'm fighting against Tier 4 Silver Surfer, Tier 4 Sentry, and Tier 3 Wolverine, so I do not think my Knull will have much problem beating this team. Yeah, as you can see, he'll probably get reflected to death here. Yeah, this is what happens against Silver Surfer, but I do think that my Knull will be able to close this out. Maybe he'll end up dying to like Sentry or Wolverine, but that's highly unlikely. Yeah. Oh. Well, that was actually quite close. But not good enough. So 1 win out of 1 match. Next up, we are queuing up against let's see, who is this? So now we're facing Tier 4 Wolverine, Tier 4 Surfer, and Tier 4 Sentry. Let's see if this will turn out differently. So the only reason why it's kinda... there is a chance that Knull might die is because once Silver Surfer respawns, he has invulnerability, and Knull uses the second skill, which reflects him to death. So this is, I think the reflect on autoplay is the only way that Knull can realistically die, because no other character except Knull himself is able to kill and take away Knull's life 2 times. As you know, still wasn't enough. Even though I lost my immortality to Silver Surfer, 2 lives of Sentry and Wolverine with both Conquest and Greed, which were reforged, couldn't take away or take down my Knull fully. And by the way, my account, while it's good, it definitely is good, it's not the most stacked account, so Knull can still be way stronger than this. And for those of you wondering, I do not have symbiote collection at all, so my symbiote collection is at rank 0, so I haven't upgraded my symbiote collection at all. So that's also something you guys should consider. Oh! Can Wolverine close this one out? No. Of course, if you play him on manual, this will be way easier, because then you can align and use your skills against those dangerous characters like Silver Surfer, who has Reflect, in a such fashion that you won't get reflected and you won't lose a life. So that's also something to consider. This is fully autoplay. Like, look how good he is. He just uses second skill and takes down every single character in the game. Like, look at this. Look. Okay. I have Brilliant CTP of Greed proc, so that might... no. It unfortunately ran out. Okay, so his Knull does have a good chance to take me down here, because I did lost my immortality, so he only needs one good rotation to take me down, but no, he couldn't, because this is a tier 3 level 80 Knull, he couldn't even damage me. So 4 wins, 0 losses. Let's continue and see how many wins will he end up. I'm guessing he'll get like 7 or 8 easily out of 10, maybe more, we'll see. Okay, so now we're going against no Silver Surfer here, but we're facing Tier 4 Sentry, Tier 4 Wolverine, and Tier 3 level 80 Knull. And when 2 Knulls fight, this looks like an anime fight. Like, look at this. Look. Look how... wow. No, his Knull didn't manage to take away my immortality. His Sentry dies instantly. Now let's see, once he respawns, will he be able to take down? No, even though his Conquest procced, the Clash from the Conquest activated, or the Wall proc, it still wasn't enough. So yeah. So my Knull didn't even lose his immortality. So this was also quite an easy win. So 5 wins, 0 losses. And now we're facing Tier 3 Knull with double supports. Now, I do not know what kind of artifact he has on his Agent Venom. It seems that he has a 5-star artifact, which is better than mine. And he also has, like, what is this? This is... oh, he has Mighty CTP of Conquest. Okay, so let's see if his Conquest can take down my Greed. No, he doesn't do any damage. And, yeah, well, it's a Tier 3 Knull, so it's not a fair comparison, but... have you seen that? Like, it wasn't even close between Brilliant Greed and versus Conquest, Reforged Conquest. However, it's my Tier 4 Knull versus his Tier 4. Versus his Tier 3 Knull, so it wasn't quite fair. But still. Okay, this team might take me down, we'll see. And again, the reason is as soon as Silver Surfer respawns, my Knull will use the second skill and lose his immortality, as you can see here. So the only thing they need to do now is take down my life once, they'll win. He does have a good chance here, especially with Wolverine. This Wolverine lost immortality? No. Like, Knull is completely insane. So currently we are 7 wins and 0 losses. And this should be enough for you guys to think, to see how good Knull is. Okay, so here we go. This team is quite strong. So he's using Colossus support with... He has... This is CTP of Liberation on his Colossus, and he's using Knull and Sentry, both of which are tier 4, so we'll see how his team will perform against my Knull and see if they can come out on top. So his Knull will spawn, use the second skill. Wasn't quite powerful enough to take down my Knull's immortality. Okay, so he has... Well, he did have Reforged Conquest, and here on Sentry he has Brilliant CTP of Conquest. So I'm guessing he has Brilliant CTP of Conquest on Knull as well, but like, they're doing no damage to my Knull. Like, look at this. Look how easy. Brilliant CTP of Conquest Sentry. Like, look how easy it is for my Knull to fully take down his teams. Yeah, look at that. Let's do one more. Again, tier 4 Sentry, tier 4 Silver Surfer, and tier 4 Wolverine. Currently we have 8 wins and 0 losses. Let's see if this team can end my streak. This is a CTP of Regen Sentry with penetration, but it doesn't seem that he has what it takes. Okay, let's see his Silver Surfer. Okay, so my Brilliant CTP of Greed proc activated that I didn't lose immortality to a Reflect, so yeah, he has 6-star artifact of Wolverine, but it wasn't really enough. So 9 wins, 0 losses. You get the point how powerful Knull is on autoplay, even on Vibranium League. So currently I'm 18 wins and 1 losses just by doing autoplays in Vibranium League with Knull. So the final judgment for tier 4 Knull and his newest uniform, the Ancient History uniform, is an easy 10 out of 10 must-buy uniform for every single player, especially if you're a veteran player and you already have your Knull built. Is insane in PvE, is the PvP meta, so he is by far the best character in the game for PvP. He completely overshadows Sentry and every other character in the game. He is so flexible, he can be played with Reforged Greed, Reforged Conquest, Reforged Regen, even with a PvE CTP, and he reminds me a lot of Jean Grey Dark Phoenix once she came out, because even then we've seen people who played her in Timeline Battle with a CTP of Rage, and she still managed to cleave through whole teams. So this is exactly how Knull currently is so powerful on autoplay in Timeline Battle. He's even more powerful if you play him on manual. So he definitely is the best character in the game currently for PvP for sure, and he is still extremely good in PvE. If you're deciding between building and buying Sentry's uniform and getting him to tier 4, or between Knull and getting him to tier 4, I would humbly suggest you to go for Knull, because he is like so insane. He's so insane, and I want you to know what you guys think about this uniform and his tier 4 upgrade, because to me, after I did extensive testing with him, he definitely is quite insane. And while I was initially had conflicted opinions about him, now I'm 100% sure that he is a must buy and is the best character in the game for PvP, while being extremely good for PvE. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking or even subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time on the live stream. Take care, bye bye.